All right. What's up, team? Nsima the Centaur Inyang here for another one of the, there's nothing coming to the camera, white belt mentality videos. And now you could see that I'm in a totally different place. I'm currently filming at the Super Training Gym in West Sacramento. This is where I'm going to film the rest of these videos and my videos for however long, because I feel like it's a better option than my garage at home. So yeah, you're going to be seeing the videos here. Also, since it's at the gym, I got my buddy over there hitting the bags. You might be hearing that in the background. You may hear a little bit of music, but it's a gym setting, so you get what you get. Now, in the last video I made on this channel, okay, about the 5 reasons to start jiu-jitsu, at the end of that video, I told you guys that if you have any questions for me, I want you to ask them in the comments, because I want to make videos for you to answer those questions. Questions whether it's pertaining powerlifting, jiu-jitsu, both, doesn't matter. I want you to ask me those questions so I can answer them for you. I'm going to make those videos along with videos that I think are going to benefit yourself, the audience. Now, a little bit of background on me if you're new to this channel and you don't know why I'm talking, or you don't understand why I'm coming out with this information. I am currently a purple belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. I've been doing it for almost 4 years now, come December of 2019. I've been a lifter for the past 14 years, doing bodybuilding since I was like 14, 15, and just lifting in general since then, doing powerlifting since I was 19, so, 20, so 7 years of that. Now, I love the mix of these two, and answering a question from the last video in the comments, a buddy named Dustin Bell in the comment section asked a really, really good question, which I think a lot of you guys are going to dig. And that question was this: what's more important on the mats being in jiu-jitsu? Strength, okay? So strength being the ability to move heavy loads over space. So think about your powerlifters, maybe even Olympic lifters, athletes that have a lot of neuromuscular capacity to move heavy loads, and that has been their focus for their training career. Or hypertrophy, okay? Hypertrophy, let's just say bodybuilders, or even at some level CrossFitters, high volume athletes in general. These athletes have generally built large frames over time, and they have very big physiques because they focus on muscle building. So his question was, which one's more important, strength or having a lot of muscle? Okay, and I think that's a really, really good question. Now, this question has layers, bro, like a lot of layers, and I'm gonna try and dig into that in a short amount of time in this video. So the first thing I wanna attack is this. I want you to understand that you need to like this video for the YouTube algorithm. Seriously, it really does help. So if you're watching this right now, like the video. Now let's really get into it. In the side of jiu-jitsu, okay, I want us to break the jiu-jitsu athlete into 3 different types of athletes. It can range much more, but for simplicity, we're gonna do 3 different types of athletes. The light athlete, and this isn't the athlete that weighs less, it's the light in terms of frequency on the mats, okay? This is an athlete doing 1 to 2 sessions of jiu-jitsu each week. We have then the medium athlete. That's the athlete doing 3 to 4 sessions of jiu-jitsu each week. Maybe they're trying to get a little bit more mat time, but they can't do a lot more sessions. Then we have the heavy athlete, the athlete doing 5+ sessions of jiu-jitsu every single week. Okay, maybe they compete a lot, or maybe they're just trying to speed up their success in terms of jiu-jitsu. The reason why we need to think of these different tiers of athlete is because when you think about when you want to set yourself up a training program, you need to think of how much importance you're putting towards jiu-jitsu, so you know how much importance you can put towards the gym. Now, if you're the light athlete doing 1 to 2 sessions of jiu-jitsu each week, depending on how busy you are in life, you could probably manage 3 to 5 sessions of lifting each week and make good progress in the gym. If you're the medium athlete doing 3 to 4 sessions of jiu-jitsu each week, you could probably manage 2 to 4 sessions in the gym each week. Now, if you're the heavy athlete doing 5+ sessions of jiu-jitsu each week, you could probably manage 2 to 3 sessions of progressive training in the gym each week. This is very important to realize. Now that we've broken down the jiu-jitsu athlete, we now need to break down the lifter. And there's, I guess, 2 layers of levels to the lifter. There's first the level of lifter that you are, meaning your training career. How long have you been training? Are you a novice level lifter who's been training for 1 to 3 years? Are you an intermediate level lifter who's been training for 3 to 4 years? Or are you an advanced level lifter who's been training for 5+ years? This is really important because this can then give you an idea of what you should be focusing on in your training as it pertains to your training and jiu-jitsu. But there's one layer deeper, one more layer. And this layer is in your training career, whether you be novice, intermediate, or advanced. Have you been focusing on strength training, meaning your ability to move heavy loads through space, just being strong? Or have you been focusing on hypertrophy? Hypertrophy meaning you've been moving a lot of volume for the intention of just building muscle. Your focus isn't moving 1 or 2 rep loads. You do a lot of maybe higher rep training, 6 to 12, 12 to 15, maybe even 15 to 20 reps. Has that been your focus through your training career? Now, the reason why I added that little layer in is because maybe you're an advanced level bodybuilder or volume athlete, let's just call you that, but you don't have the skill to move heavy loads through space. So even though you're big, you're not very strong. You got a lot of show muscle, but you don't have a lot of go muscle. You're that. Or maybe you're the powerlifter who's fairly advanced or even intermediate, but you haven't done a lot of high volume training. So you can push heavy loads, but you're really maybe not that muscular, or you don't have a lot of conditioning to your frame. Now you may be thinking, well, obviously the go muscles are more important, but adding in volume to smaller muscle groups like the rear delts, the traps, the rhomboids, trying to focus on your glutes, your calves, a lot of these help your postural integrity. So you see a lot of athletes who are rounded over or they have bad posture. You don't see this much with bodybuilders since they focus on all those little muscle groups and they have very good posture. But a lot of powerlifters, you'll see that they're rounded over or they have really weird posture. And you see this a lot with jiu-jitsu athletes, especially grapplers. They're rounded over and because they're always in this movement. This is why you want to not only strength train on the mats, but you also want to focus on building some muscle, because that'll help your posture and that'll help your overall ability to move well and efficiently, which is super, super important. So, Dustin, let me now answer your question after giving you all these layers of jiu-jitsu athlete and of lifter. What's more important, strength or building muscle, aka hypertrophy? Both. I know you're not gonna like that answer, but being the power builder, okay, what's what people like to call it, being the power builder is much better. One reason you wanna be a power builder is because you may be able to get very strong staying the same weight and focusing only on strength training, but if you focused on also added in days of doing higher rep work, or added into that same workout of lifting heavy, some time to do high volume work in terms of your biceps, your shoulders, your rear delts, your traps, your glutes, your calves, okay? If you added that into your training, over time, you will have more potential to be stronger. This is why a lot of times you'll see bodybuilders enter into the scene of powerlifting. A great example is Stan Efferding. He entered into the scene of powerlifting, and since he was just so disgustingly massive, disgusting in a good way, since he was so massive, he ended up breaking multiple records in terms of powerlifting because he had so much muscle to already work with. If we can meld these two together in your training as a jiu-jitsu athlete, then if you're also strong, but also you gain some muscle on your frame, not only will you be able to move better and you'll have better posture in terms of your frame, right? You won't have these mechanical inefficiencies of rounding over, maybe valgus knee, etc. All your muscle groups are being worked, but you'll also have the benefit of being very strong. And we know how important it is to be strong on the mats. It's not the most important thing, obviously, technique trumps all, but if two people have the same technique, and I've talked about this in the past, two people have the same technique, chances are that the individual who's stronger, that has the same level of technique, will win probably 7, 8, 9, 10 out of 10 times. Something to think about there, okay? So, now, I want you, if you're watching this video and you're like, okay, I have all this information, what you need to think about is, again, your frequency of jiu-jitsu first. Are you a weekend warrior? Are you just picking it up to try and learn the martial art? You're not trying to rush through it and get to your black belt super fast, but you're just trying to learn it slowly, and you're doing 1 to 2 sessions of jiu-jitsu a week. Understand that you can do quite a bit of training in the gym, 3 to 5 days. And then think about yourself as a lifter. Are you someone who's totally new to training and you're a total novice and you've never done anything? This is something to think about too. If you're a novice and you haven't done either, this is a great way to build both. Start doing some training, doing some big compound movements. You don't need to focus on moving heavy load all the time, but just build your strength there and then add in a lot of bodybuilding work afterwards along with your jiu-jitsu. You will gain strength and muscle at the same time. When you start becoming the advanced level athlete, that means that you don't need to focus as much on, if like you're advanced level power lifter, correct? And you do jiu-jitsu. You don't need to focus as much on your strength. You can then start adding in a lot of hypertrophy work to build some muscle, to also bolster your strength, but to help yourself on the mats, your posture, all of that too. So this is why I don't think that one program could be made for everybody. It really depends on your experience in the gym, your experience with your type of lifting that you've done over the years. If you're totally new, honestly, anything, just getting into the gym is gonna work. But if you have some experience in either of those realms of bodybuilding or powerlifting, if you've been doing bodybuilding for a long time, it's gonna be really beneficial to add in some strength training to the mix to help you get stronger, to bolster, first off, the loads you can lift in terms of as a bodybuilder, but also, to help your strength on the mats. That's super beneficial. So, again, Dustin, I know this was convoluted. I know it was a long stretched answer, but I personally believe that both are equally important, and you need to look at this as an individual, figure out your training career, figure out how to structure it, and get that out. I'm trying, and what I've been working on for the past few months is building out a lot of different programs for these mixed levels of athletes, whether you're a novice, intermediate, advanced lifter, if you're a light, medium, or heavy jiu-jitsu athlete in terms of frequency, whether you've been doing mostly powerlifting or hypertrophy during your career. I'm trying to build out a lot of programs that can build for the specific athletes so that ideally when it's done, you guys will have a lot to choose from. It's gonna take time, but when it's done and ready, I can't wait to share it with the community. So, that's the end of this video. I think I got this out. I think this will help you out. And if you have any questions, like I said, ask your questions down below for this White Belt Mentality series, because I want to pull from your questions. As if you have a question, you're curious about something, understand that question will probably help this community, and I want to be able to share it with everybody. Also, like the video for the YouTube algorithm, it seriously helps the channel. And yeah. Post your questions below. I'm going to try to make videos about them and also things that I think are important. And I really appreciate you guys watching this channel, tuning in, and talking with me. Remember, you can follow me on Instagram at Nsima Inyang. I post a lot of stuff there too, along with YouTube. And also, I'm on Mark Bell's Power Project as the co-host. We have a lot of great guests there, a lot of awesome conversations, which I think a lot of the people here are going to benefit from in terms of nutrition, in terms of training, in terms of jiu-jitsu, all of it. So that's a pretty awesome place to check us out also. So thank you again for tuning in, watching these videos, and keeping up. Okay, this is Nsima the Centaur Inyang from BreakTheBar.com. Be an anomaly, and I will talk to all of you very, very soon.